Nothing is wrong in your relationship, but intimacy just doesn't show up the way it used to. You still care about each other, and you still share a life, but closeness feels like something that needs planning, or the right energy and conditions. And when those conditions don't show up, it's easier to let another night pass. So you wait for desire to return. And when it doesn't, you start filling in the blanks. Maybe the spark is gone, or maybe this is just what happens over time. Or you worry something's wrong with you, or the relationship. Because when nothing is obviously broken, the uncertainty is worse. But for most couples, that isn't what's happening. Intimacy usually fades because the conditions around it change. Life gets fuller and more stressful. And the part of you that needs to feel relaxed and present doesn't get much space anymore. People start chasing the wrong thing. They wait to feel spontaneous and in the mood, or they tell themselves they should want it first. But desire doesn't work like a switch. And most couples don't realize they're treating it like one. They expect it to flip on at the end of a long day. They expect it to override stress, distraction, and self-consciousness. And when it doesn't, they assume something deeper must be wrong. This video isn't about forcing intimacy back. It's not about diagnosing your relationship. And it's not about fixing you. It's about what actually helps when intimacy has gone quiet. Not by pushing harder, but by working with how closeness really functions in long-term relationships. Because intimacy doesn't come back through effort. It comes back through safety, permission, and a few changes that most people never think to make. The first thing that helps is stopping the habit of waiting to feel in the mood. A lot of people believe desire has to arrive before intimacy can begin. That you should already feel turned toward your partner before you touch, before you initiate, before you try. And when that feeling isn't there, they take it as a sign to stop. But for many people, especially in long relationships, desire is responsive. It shows up after you start, not before. That doesn't mean forcing yourself into something you don't want. It means understanding that closeness often creates desire, not the other way around. If you wait to feel spontaneous, time has a way of slipping by. Not because the relationship is broken, but because adult life rarely leaves room for unplanned intimacy anymore. Couples who rebuild closeness don't wait for sparks. They make space and lower the bar. They begin without demanding that anything special happens. They don't ask, "Do I feel excited enough?" They ask, "Would it feel good to feel close?" That question is easier to answer, and it changes how the body responds. The second thing that helps is letting go of the idea that intimacy has to look a certain way. Many couples lose closeness because the definition of intimacy becomes too narrow or outcome-focused. Intimacy only counts when it leads somewhere. Pressure creeps in, and bodies tend to pull away from that. When every touch feels like it's meant to escalate, it stops feeling safe to start. But intimacy isn't one thing. It's not a single act or a single result. It can be a long kiss that doesn't go anywhere. Or it could be lying close and feeling your breathing slow together. When couples broaden their definition of intimacy, something eases. There's less to get right or live up to. And when stakes drop, desire has room to show up again. This is where a lot of people get stuck without realizing it. They're not avoiding intimacy. They're avoiding pressure. Which leads to the third thing that helps. Touch without expectation. When touch only happens as a lead-up to sex, it starts carrying weight. A hug becomes a question, or a hand on the back feels like a request. And if one partner isn't in the headspace for more, they may start avoiding touch altogether. Not because they don't want closeness, but because they don't want to manage the aftermath. So intimacy dries up not from lack of desire, but from too much expectation. Touch without expectation rebuilds safety. It tells the body that closeness doesn't always ask for more. That might mean holding hands on the sofa, or a kiss before sleep that isn't meant to lead anywhere, or sitting close without turning it into a moment. These gestures look small, but they retrain the nervous system. They say, "You can be close with our pressure." And this is where desire tends to return. The fourth thing that helps is understanding that this is often a nervous system issue, not a chemistry one. Most people don't have a desire problem. They have an overstimulation problem. Busy days and minds, and endless life admin. And then an expectation to suddenly be present, relaxed, and open at the end of it. Desire doesn't respond well to abrupt transitions. It needs a bridge. Something that marks the end of doing and the start of being. That can be a shower, a walk, or some quiet time. Nothing elaborate. Just something that tells your body it's allowed to slow down. When couples build transitions, intimacy stops feeling like an interruption and starts feeling like a place you're arriving at. The fifth thing that helps is letting go of shame around your body. A lot of desire disappears not because bodies change, but because people start comparing and critiquing themselves. When you're watching yourself, it's hard to stay present. And presence matters more than appearance when it comes to intimacy. Your partner isn't analyzing your body the way you are. They're usually just wanting closeness. Confidence doesn't come before intimacy. It grows through it. Waiting until you feel completely comfortable often means waiting forever. Meeting yourself where you are now is what brings desire back online. So stop treating this as a personal failure. Dry spells aren't a verdict. They're a season. Relationships move through phases, bodies and energy changes. None of that means you've lost something permanently. Intimacy doesn't come back all at once. It comes back in pieces. In choosing closeness without pressure and lowering your expectations in a healthy way. Most people miss it because they're waiting for it to feel obvious. They're waiting for intensity and certainty, but rebuilding intimacy is steady and cumulative. When couples stop asking, "What's wrong with us?" and start asking, "What helps us feel safe again?" everything changes. This isn't about going back to how it was. It's about building something that fits who you are now. Something more realistic and sustainable. If intimacy has gone quiet in your relationship, it doesn't mean it's gone for good. It means it's waiting for different conditions. And those conditions are something you can create, without forcing it or by using pressure. You don't need to push desire back into existence. You need to stop asking it to perform. And when you do, closeness often finds its way back on its own. You've been watching The Soft Skills. Like and subscribe for more gentle answers to complicated emotional questions.